Alrighty, guys, welcome to tonight's charting session. Hopefully, everybody is doing well. It is Wednesday, December 20th. Um, Tonight, we're going to be going over kind of the trades that I took today. I only really took one trade today. Today was kind of slow going into the morning. Again, later in the PM, it really wasn't slow at all. We ended up dumping it, but I wasn't actually watching the market when this ended up happening. But we're going to go over kind of my bias going into the morning, any possible trades that we might have missed out on later. I know what I'm already thinking of. Dude, my light keeps falling. I know one thing I'm already thinking of is there was a 15-second entry earlier this morning that I would have possibly liked to have taken along with. So we'll talk about that. So going into the morning here, the overnight session, like I said, going into this morning, I am watching one of two things. Either this is the 15-minute fair value gap I'm sort of watching. When we start to see, again, keep in mind, market open is right here. So before we get this big move up, I'm not super bearish going into the day, but I am leaning bearish. I am possibly expecting that we could start to flip bearish. But one thing that I'm focused on is I'm focused to see the reaction, right? Once we come up back into this 15-minute fair value gap, we also had a 15-minute order block here. I'm looking and watching to see price either reject or continue to run higher. If we end up just continuing to run higher, especially with a lot of pressure, I'm expecting us to go most likely right towards buy side. Again, ES external draw is still higher, most likely expecting these to get ran through. So going into the open, again, the drawn liquidity I had going into the open was that 15-minute fair value gap. Zooming into the 1 minute, we actually had a lot of opportunity pre-market looking at the 5-minute. Down here, we had an imbalance sort of that we were holding the entire morning. A lot of areas where we came down to sweep lows and then bouncing off. So in the morning, we actually came down, again, like we expected, manipulation at the low. This was literally exactly what happened yesterday. Almost exactly what happened yesterday. Manipulation in the morning, comes down, stops out all these traders that were long and at all these lows right here. Zooming into the 15-second. Again, this is not an A+ setup, but it is definitely something that I wanted to backtest, and I was really thinking about entering a possible long. Where am I? There we go. Was it on the 30-second or was it on the 1 minute? Might have been on the 1 minute. Trying to see, because this isn't it's not what it looked like when I remember what it was. This right here. Where was it? Here we go. So we had this order block, and then we also had this 15-second fair value gap. So the first thing that opened up today is I was expecting to see a pump at the open. Going into the morning, I was live, and I was expecting to say, I said, guys, we're most likely going to get a pump at the open. What I'm watching for is to see if there's an opportunity for us to catch a long going up into these imbalances. But what I'm watching for is once we get there, I'm looking to see, are we going to continue to break through it, or are we going to continue to reject? And then from there, I can decide if I'm going to possibly get an opportunity to continue to long side. But my plan sort of going into the morning was I wanted to see us have a move up, create some sort of 15-minute, 5-minute imbalance, possibly the inverse, rebalance to that, and then see if there's an opportunity to possibly take a long. You can see the 15-minute, we left a breakaway gap and left another breakaway gap before, again, finally taking that buy side level. So the objective got taken before even retracing to really any of those imbalances. So the 1 minute possible long entry that I didn't take, I just was more backtesting. Got a nice pump at the open. Again, was still being patient. Really wasn't looking to take any sort of long entry up here because we were just so high. I was looking to see this become an inverse. I was waiting to see us start to retrace. Up in this area, I would just didn't want to take a long. Again, I was more being patient. Again, I have no FOMO, no desire looking at this being like, oh my God, I could be up so much like right now. It's just not a thought in my mind. Again, at this point in my career, I'm looking at this market with zero emotion whatsoever. So we're continuing to pump, continuing to move. Had one last retrace back into this 1 minute fair value gap before continuing to hold, and then ended up rallying up towards buy side. So now at this point in time, I am still bullish, but at this point, I'm very, I'm not looking to take really any sort of long up in this area. And I'm actually possibly looking to take a short to rebalance price lower, but only if price starts to give me an area to do so. So looking at ES here, again, in the morning, standard deviation, you can see how much we ended up rejecting today. Continue to come up, reject, continue to come up again, rejected, and then we ended up selling, we just held this whole area. The manipulation move in the morning on ES, we ended up coming down, sweeping the equal lows that we had, acting as sell side. Again, having that move down, manipulating the lows, stopping out all of these equal lows here before having this big displacement move up. This is now the manipulation move, again, using standard deviation to give us that kind of projection. We continue to see that we continue to reject all day before finally selling back off. Zooming in to the 1 minute and the 15 second. This is where I started to look for a possible short opportunity. So we ended up forming an SMT at the highs on ES and on NQ. And I was watching to see and looking to see price rebalance to the 15-minute fair value gap. So you might be asking, Justin, why did you not care about this fair value gap, but you did care about this one? And the reason I care about this one and not this one is because this one most likely gets ran through because it's at the top of the range. When we rebalance price, after taking buy side, a lot of the times when we don't displace, notice we didn't really displace through this high. Displacement would have been like here, and then we finally like come back down. We kind of poke above and then instantly sell back off. I'm looking to rebalance back into the range. And I was honestly wanted to see us come back to here as well. So zooming at the 15 second, I was sort of watching to see the price action. Are we starting to have a more bearish influence? You know, what's really, what does price really want to do here? So the first time where we actually invalidate a bearish imbalance the entire day, the first time you can notice every single 1 minute fair value gap, bullish fair value gap, came back down, bounced. Bullish fair value gap, came back down, bounced. Bullish fair value gap, came back down, bounced. Bullish fair value gap, came back down, tapped, bounced. The first bullish fair value gap that had been ran through the entire day, indicating a switch in trend to rebalance price. We come back down, put in a low, come back up, have a fail swing, SMT, get displacement through this low. First ever time that we ever get displacement through a low the entire day. First fair value gap that gets ran through. This is indicating some sort of structure change. So what I'm now watching for is I'm watching for either possible stop rate. I'm looking to see displacement. I need the market to really give me a reason that I want it, that I should want to enter. Because I think that we want to rebalance price. But at this point in time, I'm not super confident that what we're doing. The morning objective has been taken. And I kind of just waiting for more structure on a bigger time frame. But once I see us come back up, we end up coming back up into this inverse. We have another 1 minute fair value gap stacked here. And NQ ends up coming up just to then take this internal high here. Again, and noticing the rejection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 points in time in which we reject the fair value gap. And this is now telling me this now is looking to be an internal sweep. Again, stopping out all of the short traders that had entered previously here, moved their stops, coming back up, stopping out all those traders from the high. So at this point in time, when I see displacement back down, I'm expecting us to then rebalance price to this next low and then most likely the 15-minute fair value gap. So then zooming down to the 15 second is where I looked to take my entry. Here, let me pull up my executions just so you can see as well. We came back down, 15-second fair value gap. Again, I'm looking to see displacement. We come back up. I didn't see what I wanted here. Again, we didn't break through some sort of previous low. Came back up one more time. Rejected. Nice displacement, breaking through the previous lows here and this low here. Tapped back into the 15-second fair value gap. I took a short. My first PT was the recent low. Came back up one more time. Again, my stop at this point was at break even. Didn't come back, didn't get stopped at break even. Came back one more time, and then I took my last contract off in the 15-minute fair value gap, finally rebalancing. So again, only trade that I took today. Was it a big move? No. Was it a confident move? Yeah. This is all you need to catch. How much is this move? 18 points. On average, and 18 points, so half off, I would say, again, on average from 11 points, 15 point, 18 points. Let's say on average, my what the hell? Excellent, my session just ended. Hello? What the hell? I'm not sure what happened. Sorry about that, guys. We good? Okay. Are we good? My internet good right now? All right. Back what I was saying. So average 14 points, right? That's all you need to catch. That's all you need to catch. There's times when we look at the market, right? There's times where people come into the day and they end up looking at this entire move. They look at this entire move and think to themselves that this is a normal thing that they should be able to catch. A lot of the problems with newer traders is they're not focused on consistency. They're focused on catching home runs. They want to catch big moves. That's why I said later in the PM, people looking at this move is going to attract so many traders, but it's going to attract the wrong things. People want to catch big moves because they're attracted to the return. Guys, all you need to be insanely rich, if you want to be insanely wealthy, you just need to be able to catch 5 points consistently. If you can catch 5 points consistently, you are good. You are good. You will outperform every other trader because there's going to be a lot of people that are trying to catch moves like this. If you can catch 5 to 10 points consistently and you know a model for it, trust me, you will outperform every other trader. On the trade that you took today, when the 1 minute rejected with another 1 minute fair value gap from the displacement leg, why did you not take that and waited for it to reject higher? Wait, let me see what you're trying to say. 1 minute. Wait. On the trade you took today, when the 1 minute rejected with another 1 minute fair value gap from the displacement leg, why did you not take that? Are you saying this one? Because after displacing through this, okay, great question. Great question. After rebalancing price here and then going lower, most of the time, whatever the next imbalance, again, I have to see rejection. I don't take the trade unless the market tells me exactly where I should enter. Do you think, okay, it's a good question. When I'm looking, think about it this way. This is how I like to think. Let's say this is the market I'm looking at right now. And let's say I'm thinking about taking shorts, but I'm not super confident in taking shorts. Do you think this looks better to take shorts? Or do you think this looks better to take shorts? And why? And why? I was with a point, and today was one of those days where I was just very, very, very patient and very disciplined. And even if I thought something looked good, I was still going to wait for it to be so clear that I knew, again, price in time. I want to see price and time. When the best trades that I take are when I know that everything has happened, and when I enter, the market should just go to where I want it to go. And you can tell by the entry that I took today, I had 0 drawdown. I entered literally in this inverse. I had literally maybe half a tick of drawdown. Again, I have way more confluence taking this short because we've had the stop rate than I would having to take this trade here. Shouldn't we be selling into the bullish candles, though? What do you mean? Here's what overtrading and self-destruction looks like. Notice how this is a 15-second chart. I sat there with instant buy and sell on 10 NQ contracts, just going in every other 15-second candle until I took my 2K loss. Can you call me an idiot? Seriously? Hey, we've all been there. I have been there. This has been me. This has been me. I have done this before in my career. Again, you have to look at this and sit down and then ask yourself, right? You're not taking it serious enough. You're not taking it serious enough. It's become a game to you. It's like you're coming on your PC, waking up to play Fortnite. Like that's what it's come to. That's what you're treating this as. It's a canon event. It truly is. I've done this before. Absolutely, though. Learn from it. Don't do it again. You know that feeling. Again, everything that I like to tell myself is the feeling of how fucking upset you are with yourself when you do something like that. Do you ever want to do that to yourself again? When you're selling into a SIBI on the 1 minute, you want to enter as the bullish candle is forming to catch the move down. That's what ICC shows in his video. Yes, absolutely, yeah. Again, that was what my entry was on the 15-second. I'm selling into the bullish candle. The bullish candle is retracing back into this fair value gap, and I'm selling on this bullish candle up. I'm selling here, getting the best entry possible. How the fuck do you get the confidence to do that? Experience. Again, focus on building conviction. The more you see it, the more easy you're gonna have to, again, test it too. Just try it out. But again, paper trading it. You need to see it happen time and time again for you to build confidence with it. It's not just gonna magically be like super easy. You have to do it a lot and practice it. But don't put on risk. How do you deal with fair value gap for entries that don't enter at a premium/discount? It all depends on the model. To be honest, I don't look. It depends. Okay. It all depends on the bigger time frame. Notice, I won't take an entry up here. I sometimes will. I sometimes will take an entry up here. But what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the bigger time frame to rebalance equilibrium. If the bigger time frame is in discount or in premium, depending on what I'm looking for, then on a smaller time frame model, I do not care to take a fair value gap in premium or discount, as long as the bigger time frame is. If that makes sense. Do you think I should risk less towards the end of the month? Absolutely. I think everybody should be de-risked right now. Justin, how come in yesterday's charting session did the higher time frame SMT not play out? Why was ES draw higher even though NQ swept higher time frame from last night to today? What do you mean? What SMT? What you're talking about? What SMT do we have yesterday? You said on stream today you don't like 2022 model unless in a bigger time frame imbalance. Can you explain a little bit more on this? Yes, great question. Okay, perfect example. Let's talk about let's look at the one that was yesterday. Why did this get ran through? Where is it? This one. Why does this get ran through? Absolutely. Number one, always most important is narrative. Narrative is always going to be the thing because narrative is going to give you context and you want to understand context to align conditions. And that's how you get probability, right? For me to take a 2022, number one, if I'm bullish, I will absolutely, guess what? I will take a 2022 in this market every time I see it. Think about that though. I will not short this. It's not the model, it's the narrative. In this market, I will absolutely take 2022s if I get the model I'm looking for, which is a rejection of a bigger time frame imbalance and a liquidity sweep. And then again, of course, displacement up, pull back to an imbalance, and I'm looking to long. That's literally what I was looking for today on ES, but we never ended up pulling back. This was a 2022 model, a perfect 2022 model. Perfect, right here. Sell side swept, again, rejection of a bigger time frame imbalance and sell side swept, 4 hour, displacement up, pull back to this fair value gap, never ended up pulling back, never got an entry. This would have been the A plus 2022 model. Because again, draws higher. Look at the displacement. Look at how fast this move was. Have you seen us sell off like that ever from a 2022 right now in this market? Absolutely not. So what I'm looking for is your question. You said that from higher time frame imbalance. Yes. If I have buy side above, again, that's why 2022, if I'm looking to short, I want to be in a bear market. What does that mean? Because price is fractal. If I am in a bear market, let me draw this out. Let's say the draw on liquidity is lower, okay? Let's say the draw on liquidity is lower. Let's just say it's even a fair value gap. Let's say, again, right now could be a possible 22. We could possibly get a bearish 22 in the rest of this week. And I would actually might take that. Why do you think that is? Because now we're rebalancing on a bigger time frame to lower. So we have now shift. Again, when the bigger time frame draw is lower, I can then take 2022 shorts on a smaller time frame. If it doesn't, if my intraday bias does not align with my external, the probability goes down the drain. For example, okay. I'm looking at this chart. This is a let's say this is a 1 hour. This is a 1 hour chart, okay? It's a 1 hour chart, okay? What am I looking at here? Let's say this is this let's say this is what I'm looking at. Okay? We have equal highs right here. And we have a bigger time frame imbalance, a 1 hour fair value gap right here. We have a 1 hour fair value gap right here. What do you think? Okay, 1 hour fair value. This is what I'm looking at. This is a 1 hour chart. So I'm going into the day with a bearish bias. This is sell side. This is buy side. What am I looking to see? If the draw on liquidity I know is lower, again, bigger time frame, we have buy side sweat, we have equal lows. I'm in a clear market maker sell model, manipulation at the highs. We are super, super bearish. For me to take the highest quality setup, what am I looking for? I'm looking to see these equal highs get swept, have a rejection of the bigger time frame imbalance being this 1 hour, and then rejecting to take the 2022 model lower. But why would I take this 22 but not the one like today? Because we are at highs from today. The external draw is not lower. So what I'm looking for right now is to see boom, boom, boom. Liquidity gets swept, rejection of a bigger time frame imbalance, boom. Displacement, 2022 model. This works significantly more than if you were going to take it in a very, like, just like what we saw yesterday. It will always get ran through. And there's going to be times where you're going to be like, Justin, how did you know this model would fail? Or Justin, how did you know this model would work? Because there's times where I will tell you, guys, this model will fail or this model will work. And it is the same model, but it's the experience of recognizing the conditions and the experience of recognizing market adaptation to what the draw on liquidity is on a bigger time frame that is going to give you the probability of what model you should be trading. It's all the narrative. Does this make sense? Once that initial high was taken in the morning, that would be the highest bullish fair value gap that you would take to target that high. Again, I'll usually wait until a fair value gap that gets hit until the 50% of the range, or is that too low? I would want to see equilibrium most likely. Again, or just see whatever the imbalance is that's getting respected. What about this afternoon? SMT highs displaced lower and then we dumped. Would that be a play you have taken? Absolutely not. No. I would not have taken a short expecting to see this kind of move. And nobody today did. If anybody took a short today and told you, yeah, bro, I guarantee you, if anybody watches this charting session, if anybody who can send me executions from today of a short up in this range, a short above this low, and a sell below in this balance, I will give you free lifetime. I will give you free lifetime. Nobody has it because nobody that took a short today predicted this move. Nobody. So stop trying to. A lot of people will look at a move like this and be like, oh my God, how could I have caught this? Well, I must be doing something wrong since I didn't trade this. I must be doing something wrong since I didn't trade this. No, you did nothing wrong. If you caught this, congrats. You are one fucking lucky guy. You should probably go to Vegas. Because all that shows me is if you caught this move is that you've been practicing such bad habits for such a long time. And it finally paid off for you. Congrats. That's all it tells me. This tells me the kind of trader you are. If you caught this move And I'm not talking about the whole move. If you just caught 100 points of this, if you caught this move, I just know your ass has been losing a lot recently. And again, you have to think of that. Stop trying to catch home runs. Focus on consistency. I am going to be straight up and real with you guys. Stop. If you see some influencer advertising a trade that they took and they took this on Twitter, unfollow them. I'm being dead ass. Unless they can show you the okay. If they did, the only way that I think it's acceptable is if they can give reason for their entry, right? Context. What was the conviction they had for it? And what was their sizing? Did they go into that trade planning to sell there? Probably fucking not. Took me a long time to think like Justin speaking right now. It takes a lot of people. It takes a lot of time. All right, let me clear this shit up. People finally caught the top of this monthly bull run and call themselves a good trader after trying to catch the top 20 other times and losing. Exactly. Anybody who caught that has been trying to catch the top for the past 3 weeks, getting stopped out every day, LMAO, and is probably still red overall. Exactly. The people who've been posting, guys, don't trust me. I've been in this game long enough to tell you the people who post wins like this are not winning, bro. They might win one day, but they've been losing the last 3 weeks or the last month. You can easily tell after having experience in this game who is the fake winners versus the real ones. Took this today, thoughts? Yeah, that's great. That's a great entry. You sniped that thing. I was looking to take ES, but it went so quick for me. I didn't get my entry. It looks great, J-Man. When a move like that happens, wouldn't you just hold it until a bear fair value gap gets disrespected and selling pressure dies? You don't know that move is going to happen. Again, think about this logically right now. Let's say I would have taken a trade here. Any other day, this is completely hindsight. If I was to take an entry here, think about this. All right, let's say this was the trade that I took here. Boom. Let's say let's say that we had an SMT here. Let's say we had a failure swing, SMT, we got displacement, and let's say on a smaller time frame I took a short right here. What's my main PT for this? Not my main, but what's a good, PT that I'm taking at least some contracts off? This fucking low right here. Okay. Now, what do you think my runners are most likely going to? Probably whatever this imbalance is, right? What's next? This 15-second or this 15-minute? This is now my next PT, and I'm probably taking most off, if not all off, at this point in time. That's it. That's good habits. This is what good habits looks like. Yeah, and most of the time, most of you guys wouldn't even hold that much. Again, when you trade what you are confident in and not trading expecting to play the fucking lottery, this person versus this person, who do you think is making more money here? On the outside, looks like this person. But I guarantee you, this person is making significantly more money than this person in the long run. Again, we're focused on longevity. What do you think about this long on NQ? I mean, you pretty much bought those stops up. What was that today? What time frame is that? 5 minutes? That doesn't look too bad. I mean, I kind of like that you bought those stops up. It's not bad. Once I saw price bounce back to today's highs, I put on a low risk, high reward position around 6 p.m. The reason I did it was because I had a feeling a big correction was due, same way I happened back in July where we would dumped hard after all those times. I wouldn't say it was high probability. It was more of an educated, low-risk gamble based on the market experience. I don't class it as a win to brag about, but it was a personal win based on my own. Again, that's great. That is great. That's exactly what you should be doing, is testing your experience in the best way possible. You said to yourself, hey, I have a feeling based off of my previous experience, looking back, when we're at highs, a lot of the times we get something like this. I'm going to put, just a contract or whatever it is, just to backtest my educated guess. Again, I am not treating it like a normal trade I would take, because that's different. I am just simply testing that idea. And if it works, it works. It doesn't, it doesn't. That's exactly how you should be doing it. I mean, if you took this, I'm good for you. I mean, I'm honestly way more fine with this than I am before. And the reason I say that is because this entry is after taking advantage of the volatility. Once this starts to kick in, this is not a normal day. Once we get to this point in time and we really start to whip up volume, I'm totally fine with you entering in with tight size and you just letting it run and seeing how much you can catch. Like, that's fine. Thank you for your explanation of the 2022 model. I got you, brother. Much love. All right, let's quickly go over. I gotta leave here soon. I got a meeting. So going into tomorrow, after this move today, I'm actually very excited to see what happens in the going into tomorrow. I'm watching to see if this 4-hour becomes an inverse or not. So the 4-hour has finally been ran through. Again, we are at lows. We need a lot more structure where we're at right now. Like, I'm expecting something like this. I'm expecting something like this going into tomorrow. I'm expecting consolidation and then possibly move up higher before maybe going back lower, maybe even just slowly grinding our way up like this before maybe seeing lower like this, to be honest. This is most likely what I'm expecting the rest of the week, so. Yeah, we do have some news tomorrow. What is it? I know we have something. Unemployment. We have unemployment claims. Okay. All right, guys. That is all I have for you guys tonight. Enjoy the rest of your night. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Again, good day. Stayed patient. Stayed good. Wait, lifetime. My position closed out in profit on pullback. Brother, I need the orders. What is this? You just put arrows on there, motherfucker. That's crazy. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.